Okay, consider the following fare calculation. When they use the term consider this, it means please read this. I don't know why they just don't say read this fare calculation, but anyway, consider it the following fare calculation. London BA X slash DEL. When I see X slash, what does it mean?
Transit.
A transit, not a stopover. BLR X slash MAA SIN. Yeah, so it's obviously a one way because it starts in London, finishes in Singapore. DEL, BLR, and MAA are all stopover points. Is DEL a stopover point?
No.
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 DEL, BLR, MAA are transit. What do I mean, transit?
Means layover within like below 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours, yes. Okay, Delhi, yes. BLR?
No.
No, there's no X slash, so it's not that. Delhi, BLR, and MAA are all transfer points.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the one. And only DEL and MAA are ticketed points. Just a reminder, ticketed points means every single city on that ticket, origin, intermediate points, destination, they are all ticketed points. It means a city written on the ticket, okay? Right. Identify the type of pricing unit for this journey, okay? Sydney, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Bangkok, Han, X slash SGN, VTN. Oh dear. Where's SYD?
Sydney.
Sydney, easy. Until we get to HAN. Where's HAN?
Hanoi.
Hanoi in Vietnam, yes. And a very tricky one, SGN. It's Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Okay, so there's two cities we need to know in Vietnam. Hanoi, the capital in the north, and Ho Chi Minh City in the south. And the Ho Chi Minh City in the south used to be called Saigon. Ah, that's why it's SGN, because you can't just change three-letter city codes. Yeah, you can call your cities anything you like. You can call it Mickey Mouse City if you want to, but the three-letter code, no, those can only change by international agreement. So Ho Chi Minh City is still SGN. There's this funny symbol here, a slash and a dash. What does that mean?
Stopover.
No, here a slash and a dash. This one.
Transit.
Hang on, let me highlight it. Okay, you see here, slash dash? No, you can't see it, hang on. Have you got the screen back now?
Yes.
Right. This symbol here, the red one, What does that mean in the middle of an itinerary?
Service.
Stopover.
Surface, gap, no flight.
Service.
Okay. Where do we start the journey?
Sydney.
And we finish in.
Melbourne.
So, do you think this is a one-way, round trip, circle trip, or open jaw?
Open jaw.
Open jaw. That alone tells you there's a gap. So be careful here. X/ means transit. /dash means surface. Okay? If you get those mixed up, you are allowed to make your own personal notes in your book. So maybe in the beginning of the fare section, you put / equals or. X/ equals transit. /dash equals surface. Okay, just have a quick reference page. Now, the open jaw in this journey. Well, first of all, how many open jaws are there? How many?
Two. It's a double open jaw.
It's a double. We've got a gap here in Australia and Hanoi, Vietnam, Saigon, Vietnam. So
It's
these,
domestic.
it's both domestic. Okay. You see, if you know these cities, very easy, but you can look them up. Yeah, you can check in your books. If you've got your book, the one I sent you on your mobile phone, you can search HAN or SGN and whoom, it goes straight to the page. So you're not going to lose too much time on this, but it does take more time. This one, yes, knowing the cities help, but then you have to understand how fares are built. So as you already said, this is a double open jaw, double. What's this? Oh, it's a fares display. Now, you've seen the Sabre fares display. Some of you may work for a company that has access to an airline's own central reservation system, CRS, and the displays can be different. Some of you may get your fares actually printed on a piece of paper. I mean, some airlines still print their fares. So, YIF, that's the fare basis. OWRT must be one way or return. The fare in local currency, the fare in NUC, carrier code YYYYYY. What does that mean?
Any airline.
Any airline can use this. There is a rule number, yeah. You've got your global indicators, you've got your MPMs. This fare display is from Amsterdam to Seoul. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got. What is the applicable fare for Amsterdam Seoul return with KE on the following? Amsterdam, Seoul, Tokyo, Amsterdam. Now, the fare break point must be Seoul, okay? Because that's our fare, Amsterdam, Seoul. So Amsterdam, Seoul, area what to what?
2 to 3.
2 to 3. So if it's 2 to 3, I've got all my funny ones. RU, Russia. Give me the two codes I'm looking for Russia, the two city codes I'm looking for.
MOW and LED.
Exactly. Moscow, whose airport code is SVO, Sierra Victor Oscar, and LED, St. Petersburg. Why is it LED for St. Petersburg? Because it used to be called Leningrad. You see? Right. So it can't be RU. FE is Russia or the Ukraine. What city do I look for in the Ukraine?
Kiev.
Kiev, IEV, no IEV. So I've tried RU, I've tried FE, doesn't work. What's the next one to try?
TS.
TS, okay? TS is Europe. Next stop, Japan or Korea. So if my fare break point is Seoul, Europe, next stop, Japan or Korea, does it apply?
Yes.
Right. Now coming back, Amsterdam, Tokyo, Seoul. So no RU, no FE. Have I got Europe direct to Japan or Japan or Korea direct to Europe?
Yes.
This is a TS return fare. So I find the TS's. This is one way, and this is return. Okay. Everyone happy with that?
Yes.
Right. So my fare in NUCs is,
5174.04.
there you go. So it's not, this actually, you think, oh, this is checking if I can read fares. No, it's actually checking, do you know your global indicators? We need to know some basics for fares. The first thing we need to know is TC area, TC1, TC2, TC3. And the TC stands for traffic conference. So when I say TC1, I mean area 1 or traffic conference area 1. But in day-to-day life, we just call it area 1. In your exams, they may refer to it as TC1 or traffic conference area 1, same thing. First one is a trick question. In which TC area is Russia? And it's a trick question or a tricky question.
1 and 2.
2 and 3.
2 or 3 also.
2 and 3, that's it. Yes, it's the one that's got 2 areas. What we're interested in for fares anyway is the Moscow St. Petersburg because of the area 2 to 3. Cuba, 1, 2 or 3?
1.
1.
1. Kenya, Africa.
2.
2.
Philippines.
3.
Finland.
2.
2.
Hawaii.
1.
Papua New Guinea.
3.
Well done. We got through that pretty fast. Okay. For a 9-year-old traveling alone on the following itinerary, what is the percentage paid? So if they're traveling alone, are they accompanied or
Unaccompanied. Unaccompanied.
Unaccompanied, right. They're 9 years old, so age 2 to 11, charge
100%.
100%. Exception on services KQ. Whoops. We are going with KQ, aren't we? Children under the age of 5 not permitted. Does that bother us for this question?
No.
No.
No. So the child will pay 100%. Okay. But wouldn't it be sneaky if they put here 4 years old and then had that as the exception? So read carefully. Right, here we have a ticket, an e-ticket. It's going London, New York, CHC. Where's CHC?
Copenhagen.
Good guess. I'll give you a clue. New Zealand.
Oh, sorry, Christchurch. Sorry.
Christchurch in New Zealand, yes. And then Singapore, LGW. So because this starts LHR and finishes in LGW, this makes it an open jaw. True or false?
True.
Okay.
True.
Okay, when we look at open jaws, are we interested in airports or cities?
Cities.
Ah,
It's not
right. So LHR is which city?
London.
And LGW is which city?
Also London. It's
So it's not an open jaw. They're trying to confuse you with the city codes, okay? So whenever you see a flight ticket, an electronic ticket, be careful if they're using airport codes because we're actually more interested in the city. And if you look at the fare calculation, where does it start?
London.
And where does it finish?
London.
London. But if you only read this, it's easy to, you know, it's an exam. I know it's open book, but it's still an exam. You know, we make mistakes in exams. Now, one thing in the last lesson, we were talking about the validity of a ticket. And Miss Fahima, she joins us sometimes for these sessions. And she was pointing out the difference between a fare's validity and a ticket's validity. This ticket, yeah, you can see it's not valid after the 15th of August, not valid before that date, okay? These dates change based on departure date, minimum stay, and so on. So the validity of the ticket may be different from the date shown here. It depends on the rules. When you get a ticket in your exam, as far as you're concerned, this is when this ticket is valid for, okay? Okay, what they give you.
So this is the ticket validity, not sales.
Exactly, it's the ticket validity, not the fare or sale validity. That might be different. But once you've issued this ticket, this is the validity of this ticket, and this is what you go by for the exam questions, okay? So I just thought I'd like to clarify that. So anyway, I start in London, okay? Tell me, if you look along here, can you see anything about POI?
Yes.
What does it say for POI?
BFS.
BFS. And BFS is Belfast in the UK. Okay?
Okay.
Right. So this ticket was issued outside the COC. What's COC again?
Country of commencement.
Right. Belfast, UK is where it was issued. It is commencing in London, which is the UK. So was this ticket issued outside of the UK, outside of the country of
False.
It's false. Okay.
Mr. Peter, what's the full form of POI?
Place of point of issue or place of issue.
Okay.
Okay. POI, place of issue. What type of journey has been ticketed? Okay, let's have a look here. London, JFK, Christchurch, M. So it's London to Christchurch, area 2, 1, 3. If I have all the areas, area 2, area 1, area 3, and area 1's in the middle, what's the global indicator?
EA.
Other way around?
AP.
AP. So if you have all three areas and number 1 is in the middle, the global indicator is AP. Coming back, we've got Christchurch, area 3, Singapore 2, UK 2. That's going to be an EH or an RU or something, isn't it?
It's EH.
It's EH. So outbound, I've got AP. Inbound, I've got EH. So is it going to be a round trip or a circle trip?
Circle trip.
Indeed, a circle trip, because it's got two components out in.
Two global indicators.
But you can only have one global indicator on a round trip. If you've got two or more, too bad, it's a circle trip. The base fare for the outbound, right? The base fare. Outbound, London, BA. What's this thing here? What do you think that is?
Q surcharge.
A Q surcharge. Is a Q surcharge part of the base fare?
No.
No, the base fare is the normal fare with no TFCs or Q surcharge. What's a TFC?
Taxes, fares.
Taxes, fees, and charges.
Taxes, fees, charges.
Taxes, fees, charges, or Q surcharge. So I don't include that at all. Here's my base fare, 2745. Whoops. It's 0.70. Sorry, typing mistake. I do make typing mistakes sometimes. A lot of the time, actually. Right. A security surcharge has been applied to the outbound fare. What do we use Q surcharges for?
Any government taxes.
Anything that's not a tax or a fee or a charge. Right, security surcharges, that's not a tax. So it's got to be the Q. So the answer is true. The seasonality for this ticket. Ooh. Where do I find the season for a ticket? In which bit of information?
Fare basis.
The fare basis, and that's the fare basis here. So based on this, do you think it's basic, shoulder, or peak? What does L stand for? Okay, let's run through a fare basis. Normally, the first letter is the booking class code. Normally, there are exceptions, okay? But normally it will be T. The next letter along will tell you the seasonality. Basic, L. Shoulder, which could be F, J, K, whatever. Or if it's high season or peak season, H. So when I see T, booking class, L is the
Low season.
so it's
Basic.
going to be basic. Okay. Are we okay on that?
Yes.
Right. This ticket is valid for how long from the day of departure? Yeah. Now,
6 months.
6 months. Yeah. Because it cannot be 6 days. Look at the dates. Do you think it could be 6 days?
No.
No, because that would only be the 21st of February. So that 6 must mean months. Normally, they would have an M behind, 6M. Sometimes they don't, and you just have to work it out based on the dates. So it's valid for 6 months. We've only got a choice of 2 things. It can be valid for 6 days or 6 months. Okay? If it's valid for 6 days, that will be the 21st of February. So you couldn't possibly come back in March. Well, in that case, can't be days, must be months. Okay? And that's another of the questions where when you have to work out things, maybe it's better to leave it till the second round of answering. Right. Here we have an ETR, electronic ticket record. It's the same as an e-ticket. How many coupons are shown?
3.
Yeah, CPN 1, 2, 3. Just remind me, if I have an ARUNC, A-R-U-N-K, I have an ARUNC, would that use a coupon on the ticket?
No.
Yes, it would. Trick question.
No, you mean the departure city, like if the city of departure is
No, an ARUNC is only used between intermediate points in the middle. If you have a gap at the origin, you don't see a ARUNC anywhere. But if you have a gap at the turnaround, yeah, then you would see an ARUNC. And the ARUNC gets its own coupon. So if you have an open jaw at origin, yeah, no ARUNC. A turnaround open jaw, you get a ARUNC in the middle of the reservation, and it would use a coupon on the e-ticket. Okay?
okay.
Right. So we got 3 coupons here. Which is true? The ticket is fully unused and the passenger has not begun to travel. The ticket is fully used and the passenger has completed all the travel, or it's partly used and the passenger is somewhere between the origin and the destination.
A is true.
A. Yeah, open, open, open. That means it's not being used at all. They haven't even started to fly. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay.
What type of journey has been ticketed? Okay, let's have a look. New York, London. Okay, then Paris, New York. So I start and I finish in New York. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. If I go New York, London, have I crossed an ocean?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which ocean?
80
Okay.
Atlantic.
If I come back via Paris, it's also 80. So there should be an option here. Let me change it. Sorry. So it's a round trip. Can you see all these funny things here, like S2 and Y and all this? S2, can you see that? Okay, here's your fare. 64755 S2. What does S2 mean? Tell me, does it matter? Or can you still answer this question even if you don't know what S2 means?
No, we can still answer.
Yeah, you can still answer. So if they put in something funny, don't get scared about it. Okay? Just say, what do they want to know? The type of journey. I am going New York, number, city in front, London. That's a point to point via the Atlantic. London, Paris, back to New York. That's 80 as well. Fine, done, finished. It's a round trip. Let me take you back to TC areas. Jamaica is in area. Go on.
One.
One. Hawaii, we've already done. Which of the following countries is in the Southwest Pacific sub-area? Southwest Pacific.
A.
Oh, you're fast on that one. If you don't know French Polynesia, could you get the answer right? Well, Sri Lanka. Do you think Sri Lanka is near Australia?
No.
Nah. China? Nah.
No.
Panama? Nah. So it must be A. Sometimes they will use a funny country to try and scare you. But if you look at the other ones, you know, well, it's not that, it's not that, it's not that. Oh, okay, must be A. Right. What is the applicable GI for the following routing? FRA, where's FRA?
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
Frankfurt. LED, St. Petersburg. Oh, St. Petersburg. Delhi, Tokyo, Singapore. So it's area 2 to 3. Let's start with RU. Do I have Russia, Moscow, or St. Petersburg at the beginning or end?
No.
No, it doesn't count then. I know it's in the middle, but we don't have anything that's what's in the middle. It's beginning, end, from, to. So it can't be RU. FE, is there Kiev, IEV, anywhere?
No.
Right, TS, Europe. Is Frankfurt in Europe?
Yes.
Yes.
Is St. Petersburg in Europe?
Yes.
Yes.
So I've got Europe. Do I have a direct flight to Japan or Korea?
No.
No, I got Delhi in the middle, yes. If it was St. Petersburg, Tokyo, different story. But no, I got Delhi in the middle. So it's a straightforward EH. But it has got Russia, it has got Tokyo because it's trying to confuse you. following routing for this. LPB. Anyone remember LPB?
La Paz.
La Paz, Bolivia, South America. Delhi, Singapore. La Paz, Bolivia, area 1. Delhi, 3. Singapore, 3. Area 1 to 3 is going to be a Pacific. Do you agree? One, yeah, it's going to be, so in that case, AP definitely out. It's either going to be this one or this one.
D, yeah.
Well, hang on, PN. PN is Southwest Pacific, yeah, to South America.
South America.
Do I
With
have,
area 1,
do I
with
have,
North America in the middle.
yeah, and North America in the middle. Okay, do I have Southwest Pacific anywhere? No?
No.
Is Singapore Southwest Pacific?
No.
No, it's Southeast Asia. So it's C, it's a normal Pacific. If this said Sydney, New York, La Paz, Bolivia, different story, because PN is Southwest Pacific. NPN, North America. Next one, South America. So you got south, north, south. Okay. Refer to the linear fare calculation below. Okay. This journey is a one-way point to point. Do you think that might be true?
Yes.
Yeah, so far, yeah. A one-way non-point to point, no, that's not right. A one-way with a specified routing, a routing fare. Do you think it could be a routing fare? Can
Yes.
you have only 2 cities in a routing fare? No. You have point to point, which is 2 cities, no M. More than 2 cities, no M, it's a routing fare. More than 2 cities with an M, it's a mileage fare. And a one-way with an EMA, whatever that is, no, it's got to be the one-way point to point. A Q surcharge has been applied for travel from Bahrain to London. True or false? What do you think?
London. London.
Yeah, from Bahrain to London.
Yes, it's been added.
Okay. Q surcharges apply to a flight, a sector. Okay. Now we've only got one sector, Bahrain, London. Agreed? So this Q surcharge applies to Bahrain, London, and it was charged for Bahrain. Okay, the sector is Bahrain, London, and it's the first city in the sector, Bahrain. They were the ones who set that Q surcharge.
Mr. Peter, how do we come to know like if the Q surcharge is charged by Bahrain or London? Because now if I see this normally, I think that it's charged by London.
Yes, exactly. Okay, what you have to do is identify the sector, the flight. Now, in this case, we only have Bahrain, London. Agreed?
Yes.
Right. what is the first city in that sector?
Bahrain.
That's the people who charge it.
In a
So
point-to-point journey, it's the first city
it will
that
always be
charges.
the first city.
Okay.
Say you have this itinerary: Sydney, Hong Kong, Singapore, London. Okay. So you've got Sydney, Hong Kong, Singapore, London, and you have a surcharge after SIN. That means the sector is Hong Kong, Singapore. Agreed?
Yes.
Right. What's the first city in that sector?
Hong Kong.
That's who applied the Q surcharge.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
good point. The base fare Bahrain London is 567. Do you think this 567, yeah, is the base fare? Oh, hang on, there's a mistake here as well in the numbers. Right. Okay, this fare 567. Okay, is that the base fare Bahrain to London? True or false?
False.
False. You've got Bahrain London 542 plus 25 Q surcharge, which makes 567. Okay, so that cannot be the base fare because it includes a tax or surcharge. Right, a return journey using return fares has how many PUs? What's a PU?
Pricing unit.
A pricing unit. In other words, a pricing unit means a fare. So if you have a return journey using a return fare, how many price units?
One.
Okay, you've got a journey, Bahrain, London, Bahrain. Okay, and you're going to charge the Bahrain, London return fare 100 BD. So how many prices, how many fares have you charged?
One.
One. Yeah. So on a return journey, you charge one fare. Yeah. You don't ask the passenger to give you two checks, one for the outbound, one for, no, you have one fare. Do you remember most significant carrier? Because we haven't talked about that in a long time. Most significant carrier is whose fares do you use when you've got a fares display and it shows lots of different carriers and you've got to decide whose fare to use. We have to look at area, sub-area, first international flight. Okay, so if you have a journey where there is crossing an area, whoever crosses the area, use their fares. Example, okay, you might like to jot this down. Bahrain, Riyadh, Singapore, Sydney. Right, Bahrain, area 2, Riyadh, area 2, Singapore, area 3. So we are changing area from area 2 to area 3. So whichever airline is flying Riyadh to Singapore, we use their fares. Okay. Say we have a journey Bahrain, Riyadh, London, Dublin. Now that's all area 2, so we're not changing an area. But Bahrain is Middle East, Riyadh is Middle East, London and Dublin are Europe. So we are changing sub-area. So changing from area Middle East to Europe, that's the Riyadh-London flight, charge their fares. We're going to fly Bahrain, Riyadh, Muscat. Okay? We're not changing area. We're not changing sub-area. In that case, who's using the first international flight? It's the Bahrain, Riyadh, charge their fares. Okay? So let's have a look at this one. London, Paris, Singapore, Manila. London is area 2. Paris?
2.
2. Singapore?
3.
Right. Our first change in area. It's Paris to Singapore. Which airline is flying us from Paris to Singapore?
AF.
And that's whose fares we would use. Okay, so when you look down, you see Y, AF, SQ, BA, blah, blah, blah. We would use the AF fares. Checking the rules as well, making sure it's a mileage fare, we still check the rules. Real life, but exam, that's enough. Okay, back to global indicators. Now, you may be thinking, why is he jumping areas, this carrier, back to this, back to here? I'm basically trying to confuse you. Yeah, if you can get this right, jumping backwards and forwards all over the place, you're pretty good. Right, where is POM?
Phnom Penh.
Okay, give you a clue. If you have Australia, there's a big island above Australia. Half of it's Indonesia, the other half is Papua New Guinea. And this is the capital of Papua New Guinea. Any guesses? Port Moresby. Okay. I don't know why, but over the years, I have noticed POM, Port Moresby, in foundation and consultant exams. For some reason, Port Moresby, I remember it. So it obviously comes up more than once. You might like to remember that one. So Port Moresby, SFO. Where's SFO?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. And CCS, capital of Venezuela.
Caracas.
Caracas. Now, Port Moresby is area 3, San Francisco 1, Caracas 1. So it's obviously going to be a Pacific global indicator. So C and D I can get rid of straight away. Now I've got a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
PN.
Let's remember PN. South West Pacific, North America, South America. So south, north, south. Is Port Moresby, which is next to Australia, is that Southwest Pacific?
Yes.
Yes. Have I got North America in the middle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I finish in South America?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoops. I beg your pardon, that one's wrong as well. ABCPU. If we've got ABCPU, what does the P in ABCPU represent?
Paraguay.
Paraguay.
Paraguay. Asuncion, Colombo, Kathmandu. Asuncion, Paraguay, area 1. Colombo 3, Kathmandu 3. So again, it's going to be a Pacific fare. Look at all of these. Do I have to work anything out?
No.
No, it's got to be C. It's the only one there that's relevant. So before you start doing lots of work about, is it, oh, South America, North America, just see if there's a simple answer. Right, LED, St. Petersburg. Where's OSA?
Osaka.
Osaka. Anybody know the airport code for Osaka?
KIX.
Excellent, KIX. So watch out for KIX. Singapore. So this is area 2 to 3. Everyone agree?
Are you?
Slow down. Okay. Have I got Russia at the beginning or end?
Yes, LED.
Yes.
Yeah, at the beginning. Do I have a direct non-stop flight from St. Petersburg to Japan or Korea?
Yes.
You're right, it's RU. Done, finished. I don't have to check anymore. Okay. So we're now ready for our next break. Quick 5 to 8 minutes, because we do have quite a little bit to get through. There's a lot of general knowledge questions at the end, you know, the ones where you just have to look up stuff. I'm not so interested in using class time for that, because you can read, you can look stuff up. Okay. What I'm more interested